Hi, chemistry. What I have here is 5 different reactions, and each is of a different type. And I just want to go through a little discussion on why each one might be considered the type of reaction that it is. Now remember, we have things to choose from. They are synthesis, decomposition, single displacement, double displacement, and combustion. Well, let's start off by looking at the first one. Why not? I look at the very first one, and initially I look at it and say, this has a lot of elements. In fact, both sides have something paired. And so the silicon and the fluorine and the hydrogen and the oxygen are paired each on the left. And on the right-hand side, they've switched. Now let me just color these things in. We have silicon, we have silicon. And now let's take a look at our fluorine and our fluorine. And I'm just going to continue to use the wonders of colors. Hydrogen, hydrogen, and lastly, my oxygen and my oxygen. And oxygen and water, I suppose. So now, look at what I have. I have silicon, which was with the fluorine, and now hydrogen's with the fluorine. Look at the green is now with the red dot. They've combined. And the yellow is now with the blue dot. This might be a way of looking at it that can help in that we have these two different things displacing with one another. And by using colors, hopefully you can see blue was with green. Now blue is with yellow. Pink was with yellow. Now blue is with yellow. So we've switched them, and by using colors for the elements, hopefully that makes it look a little more apparent, right? Well, let's continue on our little journey here. And when we look at this here, we don't necessarily have to keep track of them with colors as much because we have two things that come together to form one thing, and that's a synthesis reaction. Two join to form one synthesis reaction. Well, let's write these out. First off, the first one I did was double displacement. Second one, synthesis. The third now. The third one, well, it has this part of it. And see if you can't play from home. Take a look at this here. That's identical for every one of these types of reactions. It also has a carbon-based compound here. And so we have a carbon compound, and then we have oxygen, CO2, and H2O. What is it, you ask? It's combustion. Next, we have one thing that breaks apart to form two. These two things are almost like related, you might say. A synthesis is when two become one, or more than one come together. Well, if we take one and break it apart into several pieces, we're doing decomposition. Well, some of you may have, this pile of leaves and food and things that you put outside in a pile, and you call that the compost pile. Well, what type of reaction do you think might happen in the compost pile? You're absolutely right. It's a decomposition reaction. And so they call it a compost because you're taking larger biological molecules and breaking up into small ones that we can use for fertilizer. The last one, if you've been keeping track, there's only one left, but let's check it out. Here I have one thing by itself, and look what happens to that one thing. It ends up with what was previously a pair, in that oxygen was previously paired with iron, but now hydrogen replaced the iron and gave us something that looks like so. And so what do we have here but a single displacement? And those are your types of reactions that we're concerned with. Hope you enjoy.